Next up, something that seems a bit counterintuitive. You want, during your pitch, for your audience never to stop and think. I'm going to pause there for a moment. You don't want them to think. Here's why. Think about sitting in a movie theater, the lights go down, the opening credits start up, and if it's a great movie, the next thing you notice is that the ending credits are running. Same thing can be true with a book. You pick up an awesome book, and the next thing you know, it's dark outside, 6 hours have gone by. Right? In all those cases, you're in flow. You're in a state of mind where the storyteller has taken you on a journey where you have not had to stop and think. That is a great pitch. You want the same thing to happen. So what's that mean in real life? Well, it means you don't stop and ask the audience a question. I've seen this done too many times, the cliche, people even starting with, how many people have a cell phone? Wow, by now everyone has a cell phone. Don't ask that question. Don't ask a rhetorical question. Don't ask any questions. It makes them stop and think. Neither should you tell them what to think. You should be outraged about whatever, because some people in the audience will not be outraged. You have this problem. Well, no, some people in the audience don't have that problem. As soon as you tell people what to think, the people who don't agree with you will stop and think, I don't agree with that. And they will not be listening to you. Same thing happens if you contradict yourself. If in the beginning you talk about the problem and then the solution doesn't match the problem, well, the audience is going to stop and go, I don't get it. I don't get how this solution has anything to do with that problem. Or it could be later on. You talked about the customers buying such and such, and later on in the business model, you talk about them getting it for free. Well, you've contradicted yourself. It doesn't make any sense. Or in the opportunity side, you could say 300 million Americans and 10%, and later on you talk about 2 million people. Well, 10% of 300 million is 30 million people, not 2, and some people in the audience will pick up on that and go, that didn't make any sense. So the way you get them to not think is to put together your pitch like a really good story. You take tiny little logical steps, no big leaps, no leaps of logic, no missing information, tiny little leaps from spot to spot to walk them through the story from beginning to end. And if it's done right, then they will never stop and think throughout the 5 or 10 or 20 minutes of your pitch.